Well, Flight from Hell doesn't come close to describing Mitch and Jenny's trip to Venice. They were on a Qatar Airways flight from Melbourne when a woman tragically passed away mid-air. The crew decided to put the woman's body in their row. Mitch forced to sit next to her corpse for the remaining 4 hours of the flight. I spoke to the couple late this afternoon. Guys, I know this has really shaken you up. Jenny, how are you going?
Yeah, I'm trying to make the best of a pretty hard situation, but, you know, we're on holidays, so we're really trying to have a good time.
So, Mitch, if you can just sort of explain what happened on the flight, because I know this woman walked out of the bathroom and collapsed next to your seat. How did that then play out?
Well, the staff were there in no time, and I pat them on the back. They did a wonderful job trying to revive her. It was right beside me in the aisle, and they did everything they could, but unfortunately the lady couldn't be saved, which was pretty heartbreaking to watch. Then they went to try and move her. They brought this chair down, which I'd never seen before, but it had just 2 wheels on the back, and they put her in this chair. And they tried to wheel her up towards business class, but she was quite a large lady, and they couldn't get her through the aisle because her height was at armchair height. So they looked a bit frustrated, and then they just looked at me and saw seats were available beside me. My wife was on the other side. We were in a row of 4 by ourselves, and they just said to me, "Can you move over, please?" And I just said yes, no problem. And then they placed the lady in the chair that I was in.
We're also really mindful this is incredibly distressing for this woman's family as well. But I'm just thinking about you. You're then placed, or this corpse is then placed next to you for how long on the flight?
For the next, it was 4 hours, 3.5 to 4 hours left on the flight.
Oh, so I can understand why this was so distressing, Jenny.
Yeah, I'm not a great flyer at the best of times, but when my husband turned around and said, move, we've got to move, I was really shocked, and I said, are they going to, you know, put her there? And luckily a lady behind me on the other aisle, she said, darling, come here, a lovely English lady. And I sat next to her. Yeah. But so Mitch was across the aisle then from me for the rest of the flight.
I don't know how you're going to go, Mitch, getting her back on a flight after something like this. But from what we understand, there were empty seats on the plane. Did cabin crew offer to move you?
No, they just asked me to move across in my seat.
Because I know that international guidelines are pretty clear on this, that unless it's a full flight, and it wasn't, that they should move you to another seat with few other passengers nearby. You weren't given that option?
No. And I know, well, there were spare seats I could see around us.
I would have thought with airlines that there would be somewhere to actually put these bodies so they weren't having to be placed next to passengers.
Some type of protocol, definitely. That was, you know, we totally understand, and we can't hold any of the airlines responsible for the poor lady's death. But surely after that, there has to be a protocol that then looks after the customers that are on board.
And there was another situation at the end when we landed. They told us in our area to stay in our seats, and then the ambulance officers and the police came in, and then the ambulance officers started pulling the blankets off the lady right beside me. I was there, and I got to see her face. Yeah, it wasn't nice.
Traumatic, seriously.
I can't believe that at the end of the flight is what happened, Mitch, on top of everything that you then had to be exposed to that.
Well, I can't believe they told us to stay. I thought they would have got us out quickly and let the ambulance and the police in there with no other people in there. But they told us to sit down and wait.
The people who have died deserve dignity, and the passengers deserve not to be traumatised. And that didn't happen.
Yeah. No, it didn't happen.
This was a Qatar flight booked through Qantas. Have either of the airlines reached out to you since?
No.
No, we haven't heard from anybody.
No one at all. We've sent several emails to Qantas, one when we were in Doha, and nothing.
I can really see how this has got to both of you, particularly you, Jenny. And of course, as we've done, we need to acknowledge how upsetting this must be for this woman's loved ones. There is no perfect way to deal with a situation like this, but at the very least, you'd expect some kind of apology or some support.
they have a duty of care to their customers as well as their staff. That we should be contacted and make sure that, do you need some support? Do you need some counselling? Because this has never happened to us before. I don't really know how I feel.
Yeah.
And would like to talk to somebody and to make sure I'm all right.
How do you go about now enjoying, what was meant to be a holiday of a lifetime, guys?
We're going to do it.
We'll do it.
Funnily enough, my daughter's a mental health nurse, so I'll be having lots of conversations with her. But we're going to do it and make it a good holiday.
Jenny, I wish I could just give you a big hug. I reckon Mitch has given you a few though. But look after yourselves, guys. And I hope the airlines respond to you very soon. It's the very least they can do.
And thank you, the Current Affair, for listening to us, because no one else is.
Something to go through, isn't it? And our thoughts are with that woman's loved ones, because she deserved better too. So Qantas has since been in touch and will speak directly with the couple. And as for Qatar, they told us they're looking into it. But we do want to be clear, although the flight was booked through Qantas, it was not their plane.